Hey, what's up? It's Rashad Antonio. We are the Calrissian kids, because Calrissian raised us. Lando did,
Hmm.
and the best Star Wars ever. Andor season 2, episode 7, 8, and 9. All spoilers.
uh,
I hate to be hyperbolic, man, but
yeah.
I I felt damn near every emotion watching these 3 episodes.
Hmm.
I laughed.
Hmm.
I was nervous.
Hmm.
I think I shed a few tears.
Hmm.
Um, I felt relief. I
Hmm.
also felt dread. Also
Hmm.
felt redemption in certain aspects.
Hmm.
Like these, like I'm sorry. This is what watching television or watching any form of media should be. At its
Hmm.
core, you being presented with something that is not
Hmm.
watered down to the audience and having the show. I love it when the show or the movie says, "Hey, we know you're smart. We believe in you, the
Yes.
audience, and we believe that you're
Hmm.
going to be able to figure out what we're saying." And shout out to
Hmm.
Tony Gilroy and the crew
Hmm.
for doing that, because
Hmm.
this could have been something totally different. And the fact that they were allowed to do this, and I'm not sure how many hundreds of millions of dollars that they took to make this like Star Wars passion project of sorts.
Hmm.
Like it just goes to show you when you let somebody have a vision and you don't trifle with their vision and you
Hmm.
allow them to let their vision come into fruition. This is what you get. Like, I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. Yeah,
No, you're not. You're not. Um, Once again, this this shows us why Rogue One and Andor are the best of the Disney Wars movies and series. You know, oh man, for the longest I felt like season one, season two of Mandalorian was like the best product that
yeah.
Disney put out. Season one and season two of The Mandalorian was the best product they put out. Andor season one came along and I was like, man,
Ooh,
this, this is really good. The beginning is kind of let's let's let's
yeah.
let's pick this up here a little bit. And I think they heard our cries and people cries and pleads about that for this season. I will say the very first episode of Andor was kind of a little a little slow walk a little bit.
Yeah,
But after that, but
Just to
after that
reestablish us back
first
into the world. Yeah,
right, but after that first episode, oh man, we went on a 4x4 race, and I mean we've been on it since. And every motion, and I can honestly say, Rashad, this set of episodes that came out, these three sets right here may be the best thing Disney Star Wars has put out since Rogue One, period.
yeah, man.
Eh,
Like,
eh. Yeah.
I have a very soft spot for uh the Last Jedi, and even
Hmm.
to certain respects, Force Awakens, because
Yeah.
it just like the Force Awakens, it was that that comfortable blanket that you wrap
Yeah.
on, because it like like it made like
It gave you the feels.
there's a sense of nostalgia leaving that, like, oh man, this feels like Star Wars is back.
Yeah.
Watching Rogue One let me see that there is an entirety of
Hmm.
of of Star Wars that we haven't really delved into on screen in
Hmm.
live action, because
Hmm.
we saw it in Clone Wars and we were seeing
Hmm.
it in Rebels,
Hmm.
but not in live action.
Not to the extent in live action. Like,
Nah.
and what was it we kept saying in the first season of Andor? The Empire is trash. Trash.
Yeah.
It's like you already knew. Okay, we already knew. Okay, yeah, okay, the Empire is wilding out, and we mainly knew the Empire was wilding out only because of like Palpatine.
Large
You know,
scale. You know what I'm
Large
saying?
scale, right?
On the
Because
macro. Yeah.
right, because of Palpatine. You know what I'm saying? That's what we thought.
Yeah.
But then to see Andor and to see the extent of what the Empire was doing to their own people in the Empire is just like completely wild to me. Like we've seen shows where Imperiums, people are they're kind of wilding out a little bit, but it ain't, what I'm saying? It ain't really affecting everybody. It's affecting like maybe a little small sector or something like that. This right here was crazy, taking the cries of children dying and turn that into a interrogation form, then going to planets and basically using up all their resources for one thing, then finding out, oh, it's something else here that we need as well. We're going to get to that when we start talking about these episodes here. And then too, like any good dictatorship or totalitarian empire, the manipulation and the propaganda that is being spewed of like, what I'm saying, of what's going on, what I'm saying, what is real and what isn't, you know what I mean? So it's man, it's crazy. And it's to the fact too, like I said, it affects everyone in the grand scheme of things. Because even the rich folk, they may be blindly following the empire, but then what I'm saying, we find out later on, some of them find out like, hey, messing with the small worker bees and the pores is trickling on up to us here. You know what I'm saying? And these set of 3 episodes were just immaculately put together, and we basically saw what would be in real human Earth time the start of the Revolutionary War.
Tony.
We had our Christmas addicts moment.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. We had our,
Mm-hmm.
our Boston Tea Party or
Mm-hmm.
whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And okay. I thought about this a lot. And
Mm-hmm.
the theme of these episodes, this core of episodes is this.
Mm-hmm.
We believe the same thing, but we don't believe the same way. And
Right.
if you look at all of our characters, all the players, and a lot of them have the same beliefs, but
Mm-hmm.
how they are enacting and processing those beliefs are very different. Let's start one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna run down a
Okay.
couple. So we got one. We
Okay.
got and of course Andor and Luthen. So Andor's like, look, I'm done. I'm tired. I ain't doing this no more. Luthen is like, nah, you're not really tired,
Mm-hmm.
and you are gonna keep doing this. Okay. So then we got Andor and the rebellion. Look, I need to come and go as I please. General Draven's like, fam, I need you to be a little more focused. And
Yeah.
he's like, are you done? Yes. But still, like I still need you. Like we still need you.
You are a leader. You
Yes.
are respect. No matter how much you don't want this to be,
I ain't
you are a
trying to,
leader.
yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
you 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 want to know what that reminded me of, Rashad? You know what I'm gonna take it back to?
What's that?
You a leader, son.
Yeah.
You a leader, son.
Yeah.
That's taking me back to days at Norfolk State in that band.
Yeah, yeah,
Just because the
yeah.
band, just because the
Yeah.
band director didn't make you a section leader or whatever, he still knew that some people were leaders in here. Hey, you a leader, boy. Lead.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Very,
saying?
very yeah, definitely heard that speech.
Uh-huh.
So we got Andor, and then we also have which I was not even expecting.
Mm-hmm.
We have Andor and the Force Healer. Okay, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what
Shoot.
this? Do you know what this scene was?
What was that, Rashad?
This scene was for all my people who go to church. This scene is you at church minding your business, and
Mm-hmm.
the prophet's there Hey.
That's
You. Come here, come here. Let me talk to you. That's what that is. Somebody
yeah.
telling you about yourself.
Hmm.
And then the fact that she said, look, I know there's something in you.
Hmm.
There's something that's working inside of you.
Hmm.
And I need you to recognize that. And he's like, I don't believe in none of this stuff. Like my mama was like, went to a force healer one time and they ain't do nothing. And Bix was like, that was 10 years ago.
Hmm.
So what Andor has is a reinforcement of a negative experience with the
Hmm.
force. Even though on some maybe not so like active level, the force could be working inside of him or the force is working around him. You feel what I'm saying?
This was a precursor to have him ready for Rogue One.
That's
I
what
am
I'm
one with the Force.
saying.
No, you remember, I am one with the Force.
I
The Force
know
is
that's
with
what
me. I am one with the Force.
yeah,
The
yeah.
Force. Yeah.
Our boy Baze Malvo, you know what I'm saying? And I forgot the
Yeah.
other dude's name, but yeah. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
so when he gets to that point,
Hmm.
he can see that look, I know what this is about. I know what they believe in. I'm not even because if you notice the whole entire movie, he does not rail against their belief system at
No, you
all.
don't.
He just
Mm-mm.
says, "Look, oh y'all gonna help? Y'all gonna lead me to where Saw Gerrera is? Cool. And then y'all can come. You know what I'm saying? And also the fact that Biggs was like, look, I
Mm-hmm.
need you to realize like was like you got to accept what's going on. And then she was like, yeah, I saw
Hmm.
something. Like, what did you see? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I see that he's a messenger of some sort. Like he has a place. He has an assignment. You have an assignment in your life. You know what I'm saying? So that whole
Ah!
aspect of it was that was the most I think
Blackest church thing.
blackest churchiest
Yeah.
representation of the force I've ever seen. Because like you can easily because a lot of people would say like if it wasn't for the whole the forces and everything,
Hmm.
it's a clear analog to the Holy Spirit because the Holy Spirit lives within
Yeah.
us, the forces is
Listen,
within us, and then operates within us and everything.
preach, preacher.
So that's yeah, amen.
Hmm.
So that's the parallel for me,
Amen.
and the fact that she was able to again touch and agree with him because he was hurt, the laying of
Hmm.
hands that he healed him, and even though he didn't want to say it, that but he was by that action the whole time, and that shoulder ain't
Hmm.
hurt, and he ain't missing that shoulder since then.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
And and she said, "Look, I am glad that I talked to you." He's like, "Why?" He said, "Because I can I can sense the resolve you have." He said, "Most people are led by their basically like their emotions or the things that happened to him in the past. Like this man is
Hmm.
being led by what he's basically going to be doing next." And
Hmm.
she's like, "Oh man, like I've forgotten that." But of course she's forgotten that because I doubt she's a Jedi. She's probably just a Force
Yeah.
user of some sort.
Yeah.
And
She's attuned to the Force in some
yeah,
way, you know what I'm saying, for
because
a
like man
capacity.
was like, "You talking about the cook?" Like she be back there cooking food. Ain't no
And,
force about that. So
she giving us blue milk, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, for real. I here with the crappy meals. She can't even cook well. Talking about she got the force. So
Right.
like that part for me was like very like out because this show has been very grounded
Hmm.
the entire time. So them introducing the force in this very like kind of covert way I
Hmm.
absolutely loved, and the fact that it felt like Black church to me is made me feel
It
right at
did.
home.
Right.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
know, man,
So
we know we both Christian folks, you know.
I know Black church if I don't know nothing else, and you know what I'm
I
saying.
know.
So
Right.
okay, so now okay, so back to the theme. All right,
Hmm.
you have you have Dedra, and you have and you have Cyril.
Sir,
Again, we
man.
believe in the same thing, but we ain't believing the same way because
Hmm.
he has a crisis of conscience when he starts to figure out that he's being played
Played, yes.
to the
Hmm.
point where he hems her up and starts, do I have to grab the back of your neck to make you talk to me? You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke him? That's what he's.
Oh God! He went straight
It's,
domestic violence
it's,
on her, yo.
he said, "Is Sarah gonna have to choke a bitch? That's what I have to do." Yeah. And then we said this last week, Rashad. We was like, "Yo, this dude is a patsy, and he doesn't even he is the for my conspiracy theorists out there. He's the not Norman Oswald. You know what I'm saying? My man, they said killed Kennedy. Oswald.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? He's Oswald. You know, he's a patsy or whatever. And they're using him. And when he finds out, like, because he's like, yeah, they're going against the Empire type thing. And she's like, yeah, we know. That's not the main reason we're here on this planet. It ain't for these silky butt stuff that these spiders are putting out right here. It ain't for that. We know that they're against the Empire here. We know the stuff we doing to these people. There's some type of rocks under these grounds
yeah. I
that's
mean, there's a
eh,
mineral here. She's like,
and
look, we're gonna go home,
mhm.
heroes. And he's like, I ain't
Yeah.
trying to hear that.
Yeah. I try to hear about the Empire. You know what I'm saying? And for those of y'all that missed that part and was like, well, what are they talking about? Kyber crystals.
Yeah, or I mean, it's calcite for them because this is
Yeah,
gonna be
well,
the
yeah.
part that kind of like they're gonna use it for the beam part, I think. You know what I'm
Right, yeah,
saying? So
yeah.
it won't
Mhm.
like basically like I'm thinking so the light just won't be refracting everywhere.
Yeah,
It's
I think it helps synthesizes the kyber crystals that are being used.
something
It's
like
not, you know what I'm saying?
I don't either
Yeah,
way. It's some made up mechanism to for this to be applied.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
it's a MacGuffin.
But
Um,
but also you want to stay with them for a little
yeah,
bit
we can
or
stay here.
okay.
We can stay here.
So my man feels so betrayed and everything. Like you said, he has a conscious decision. Like, yo, I know I'm an empire and I know I'm being a double agent, but I've kind of grown to like these people a little bit. I've kind of grown to like these people a little bit. And y'all have them in this murder box that they think they out there. You know, because the Gormans are out there doing their best Gorman spirituals. You know, Gorman spirituals out there. They're doing their version of "We Shall Overcome" in their language and all that stuff. Like so all that stuff like that. You know, they doing their Old Man River, waving the flag and everything in front of that Imperial Hotel. And the whole time they are just getting boxed in, and most of the agents like had their own weapons there, thinking something was gonna happen. My man jumped into the fray with them, and he was looking at the people he was being a double agent to, and you saw the conflict in him. Like, I
Oh
want to
man, I gotta
warn them,
say something.
but I gotta say something, but the Empire, or whatever. And then, Dedra is, or as I call her, Space Ellen, is up and dag on the thing. She's like, hey, go find that boy. Go find my man and bring him back here. And then my man came back and was like, hey, yo, he's down there. And then, they see the situation's getting kind of crazy. Well, it ain't even really getting crazy. It's just that they're just, what I'm saying, they are
It's
protesting super hard.
it's
And
starting to
it's
get a
it's
little
es-
tense. It's starting to
it's
get,
getting a little tense because they're putting armed uniformed individuals in a place and they are being very, how shall I say, rambunctious. And then too, they're going to be rambunctious because they're young. Because remember when they first arrived, she saw them, she said, children. They're all children.
oh,
And she
they had brand new cops
Yeah,
on the
they had brand new
force.
cops who what I'm saying, who just came out of Empire Police School, trigger finger, ready to be Captain America Empire and stuff. And they sent them out there on the front lines, and people started talking crazy to them and all that stuff. And then you know Dedra gets that phone call from her
Yeah,
higher up, and he says, "Hey, clear that plaza, get them folk out of there." And you saw the conflict in her because it's like with her, it's like her conflict is this: she is loyal to the empire, It's really only one person she wants to hurt, and that's Andor. Her whole mission this entire series has been trying to get Cassie and Andor. And she's kind of like, I don't want to murder these people. She had that look like,
It's
I don't
like
really want to murder.
why are we doing this like this? And
Yeah. And,
and what's the other what's my man's name? The Captain Kaido. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
uh-huh.
And he's like, she said, well, what do you want? He said, man, I want a comfortable ride home. Cause like his whole like, and that's the part about
Hmm.
the cruelty of the empire. They set this whole thing up, and the way I felt about this again, I got people watching this. If y'all can see the parallels to America with the empire, then I don't know what y'all watching. This
Hmm.
part of the empire to me represented the CIA and how the CIA can covertly topple governments using misinformation, using agents, using people that come in and cause and create chaos and disorder on purpose. So then they can come in and take the resources of said place and then set up a government that they want by the people that they have appointed to be involved in said government. That has been the imperialistic American playbook for the past 100 years or so. Like,
Yeah.
let's be for real.
You know what happened? The Gorman Massacre is, Rashad?
What's that?
The Gorman Massacre, I equate the two things.
Okay.
I equated Selma minus the TV cameras
Whew.
and also the Tulsa situation because there was no real cameras for that. That was word of mouth what happened.
Yeah, that like
Black,
definitely.
Black Wall Street.
Yeah, like if you want, definitely, I could see that. Or like you can just
Hmm.
name any South American country that America
Mm.
has infiltrated and set up a democracy in, or even like in like the Middle East. You can really
Oh
like,
yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch of things that you can kind of find parallels to because
Yeah,
that's the
because
playbook. And even like with the mis and disinformation, they had people on the news having speaking points, speaking to
mm-hmm.
how the Gorman unrest, the terrorists there, they're not
Hmm.
complying with
Imperial rule.
empirical norms, and they're
Hmm.
going against that. And the people on the other end, we see like Cyril's mom and her, her little gal pals, and she's
Hmm.
like, "Oh my God, those nasty Gormans," So now the people,
Her and that cigarette voice is wild, yo, for real. I'm sorry.
it is
Every time
funny.
she talks, I'll be
Like
like,
we should, like I wish we saw her smoking
ah.
like smoke cigarette, like space cigarettes. Like
Yeah.
the fact that they're now they're getting the people to turn against another
Hmm.
people. That is
Hmm.
another thing that people do to just like you got a group of friends. One person's like that friend, then everybody's like that person anymore. That's it's just
Yeah.
human nature.
And then they locked up the senator from the Dago. He the only senator from Gorman.
Oh yeah,
They put him on parade. And get him out of here. He's behind this. He's part of the setup. He
send
knew
that
about
boy
all
packing
this.
quick.
He said, "Hey, yo, they murdering my people. Y'all don't know what they done. They murdered my people. Don't listen to what they saying." And it's like Mon Mothma. She knows by her intel of what's going on. But as we see later on at the end, what gets her to trust kind of Andor when she really, in all intents and purposes, shouldn't have, was when he sat there and said, "I got friends everywhere." He gave the Luthen code phrase, but then he was like, "Look here, I was at
I
Gorman.
was I was there.
I was there. You need to come on and let's go right now in this situation." And I mean, like I said, this episode building all of this up with, what I'm saying, and then like I said, just wrapping the Dedrick, you see after the massacre with Dedra, how she breaks down by herself about what, I'm saying, about what
Because
happened.
yeah, like you
Yeah.
like the funny thing is this is like I love how this show. is exposing
Hmm.
the humanity in individuals because we saw the humanity in Cyril because Cyril was like, yo, I know I'm like double crossing y'all, but like I'm supposed to be trying to find outside people coming into Gorman. And then but
Hmm.
by the time that he realizes is that ain't no outside people. It's
Mm-mm.
them with,
Hmm.
with the misinformation. And then
Yeah.
Dedge was like, we could have just took their stuff. I don't understand why we gotta have this whole okay. Even though Tony, it was her idea to begin with. You
Yep.
need a smaller surgery to do the wrong thing at the right time. Just
Hmm.
something like that.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
now looking at it like, yo, like I as well have only been a useful tool for the empire.
Hmm.
Made my mate a useful tool for the empire as
Hmm.
well, who in my own like subversive and weird way I actually have feelings for,
Hmm.
but because I was so on job the entire time, I couldn't even show him my actual humanity.
Hmm.
And again, we believe the same thing, but we believe in it in an
And they're
entirely different
different.
way.
Yeah.
And that yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're right.
Like that part for me was like really stood out because even when you look at how this show also set up things, and I'm glad that the writers of the shows like really was in the writing room and they was like really taking notes and writing stuff down because there's a point where Cassie in the last batch was like, look, y'all do understand that they'll have people and moles in like amongst your midst, and
Hmm.
you giving somebody information, and they can be working for the
Hmm.
Empire, which was Cyril. So we
Hmm.
cut back to them at the in Coruscant at the Senate, and the people that was supposed to be getting what you call it that Luthen told, you know what I'm saying?
Luther told a lie. Mm.
One of them was a double agent too.
Yeah.
The daggone lady, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like and Andor had to handle them.
Right. Because with that, it was the whole thing of she trusted Belle because that's we found out that that's her cousin or something. Like
Yeah,
I
like
think
it's
we
just,
like cousin. She's like,
Bell, I mean,
okay,
I don't know if it's a cousin, but like it was like they was like they go way back. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. Um, one last thing about Gorman, and then I think we can move on from that part. How I did laugh so hard when Cyril crashed out when he saw daggone Andor. It's like he saw Andor and was like, "You are the bane of my existence." He crashed out. Thing I didn't like about this is Andor is this killer, this spy, and all that, and he letting punk ass Cyril give him the damn business, and I was getting pissed off at that. So
I think we underestimated Cyril. You know what I'm saying? Like
maybe, yeah.
I think after let's say 4 years of having dreams and hoping and wishing to actually get his lick back because that's
Uh-huh.
the person that essentially destroyed his life. So he's
Hmm.
going for broke, and that I do get because under the like he was Hando was so confused. He looked at that man and said, man, who are you, yo?"
Who he said you ruined my life. He was like, you know what he was? He was like Tommy Lee Jones in Fugitive. I didn't kill my wife. I don't care. He was like, I don't know who you. I don't. He was like, who are who are you? You know, it's the
he,
same thing Thanos said.
he was Kiki Palmer. He said, "Do you know who this person is?"
Yeah,
I don't know that man.
I don't know the brand. Yeah, you, you know what? He was Thanos 2.0 in Endgame when she said you took everything from me. I don't know who you are. Like, what are you? And it's just it is amazing how yes, yes, that's
Yeah,
the yes,
yeah,
yes, yeah. We you know so it's that situation. But man, he was giving Andor the business, and then he got the upper hand on Andor, and I was like, what the hell is going on here? And I said, all right, who about to kill this man from behind?
for real.
Because that man had the luck of the Irish, whatever God in the Star Wars universe he worshiped. That he was just standing there watching the chaos, and you see the lasers just blasting around him and everything like that. And then finally, the guy that was kind of, I guess, like that mayor of that town or whatever. He was the one that
Yeah.
helped kind of start their little
Yeah, he was like
rebellion there.
the person that owned the
That yeah,
the
the
fashion
fine, the
house.
fine,
Yeah.
yeah, the fashion house. He killed Cyril. I think they figured out that he was a mole or whatever,
Yeah, because
and
even before, like he was like, "How dare you walk our streets with us?" And that's what we should have known that Cyril had a little bit of that dog in him, because he grabbed that man
mhm,
so fast and put him in
yeah,
that alley and threw him down.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Also,
And they popped the cap in our boy Cyril, and our favorite simp
favorite Simp
incel.
is dead, man.
It did.
Like he's such a precautionary tale for us. I said this on Threads too, of when you have so much energy for somebody and that
Hmm.
person is not even thinking about you at all.
Hell.
He be creating like like creating mountains in his mind about this
Hmm.
person, and then
Yeah.
Andor has his own set of problems. Don't even
Yeah.
know who Cyril Karn is. Like
As
that's a
they
lesson for the
as
day.
they say, Andor lived rent free in Cyril's head.
Bro,
He
bro.
had an not apartment, he had an estate with extra land, farm animals grazing all up in that man's head.
Yeah,
And Andor had
he got a drive to the house. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Through a wooded forest. Then all of a
yes.
sudden it opens up and it's a
Yeah.
palatial
So
mansion.
yeah.
No, like that. Also, before we get off of Gorman, I just got to say the Empire was killing these bastards in waves. The fact that he was like, okay, send the red shirts out there. You know what
Uh-huh.
I'm saying? And they was getting ate up. And the funny thing was like their commanding officer was like, "You want us to go do what?" And he was like,
Right, yeah.
"I think it's on Cairo was saying what else he got?" He said, you got a
Yeah,
problem with
uh-huh.
that, my man?" He was like, "Nah, I
Yeah.
don't." And then after
I know.
that,
They
stormtroopers
had the
came out.
stormtroopers.
Yo,
Uh-huh.
stormtroopers was picking them off. Good for them. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And then after that,
The coup de grace. The
send out the
exo.
KV units. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yo.
and
Hey
yo,
yo, the way they were flinging, move, move, just
yo,
tossing and throwing them.
disrespectful. I mean,
Man, threw
oh
that
man,
one chick.
KX droids.
KX
They
threw,
were tossing them.
flung that one chick that was part of their little rebellion thing so hard, like basically broke her neck back when she landed. These things were flinging people against the wall, and they were indenting in the wall. It won't like they
Like
it
a
won't like they
cartoon.
right. It won't like they slapped the wall and you saw the blood trickle down. No, they were indented. These things were just going crazy. And I did love that scene when Andor was trying to get his boy, like, hey, let's go, man. He was like, I gotta get my girl. He was like, man, F your girl, let's go. And then they taking so long to talk. Then one of them droids came and they were like, oh, that thing started doing the little Terminator style run and flinging people started flinging people at the same time. And luckily, my man that killed Senna, came along and gave him that little car action, rammed my man to the wall, destroyed it, and then my man was like, hey, Andrew said, hey, before y'all go, help me with this real quick. Put that in the back. And then, we find out that that is our, lovable KX unit from Rogue One that was cheeky as hell in that movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Also,
Hmm. Oh boy.
hey man, one thing about women, when he gets to a planet, he gonna find some vagina.
My
he
man gonna
was,
find some.
he said, "Yo, my girl back here. I gotta go back to my girl." Yo, I was like, because and he also has a type. Because that girl looked just like the girl from from
That was yeah. Cause I
the
was
Outer
looking, I
Rim.
said, did he go back and get her? I
That's what
said,
I thought
it
too
looked
for a
like her,
second. I
but
said,
that
I
that
said,
ain't her.
yeah, man. Like Woman is a mess,
Yeah.
yo. Like that
Yeah.
was so funny to me. And again, those little small things that they're putting in
Hmm.
this is just like, man, it just makes it more
Yeah.
more like again, more humanistic because
Yeah.
people like vagina.
Shout out to
So
shout out to Gore. Yeah, that's the end of our Gorman part of this. Shout out to Gorman,
yeah,
you know,
man.
the
Ghorman Massacre
start of
was
the empire.
the Ghorman Massacre was so good. Like
We've
it sounds hard, but it
we've
was so
always heard
good.
about it. Yeah, we always heard about it, but we finally finally seeing it on, what I'm saying, on air or in
Live action, and
live
it
action.
did not disappoint.
Boy,
Like,
no, no, no.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
Let's talk about our boy, our favorite. I don't give a damn what y'all doing. We getting this rebellion going. Luthen.
okay.
Luthen is so unhinged. Luthen don't give a Luthen Luthen uses imperial tactics without the trash, if that makes sense, to an extent.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's it, because Luthen whole thing is like, hey, look here. You can say you don't want to do this all you want, but this is what you are gonna do. And you gonna
Before,
do what the hell I tell you.
oh yeah, hold on real quick before I forget.
Uh-huh.
The whole reason that what you call it was on Gorman. What's the murder? What was the murder, Dedra?
Yeah. He
Like,
kept he had he had her in the crosshairs a few times and kept and the one time when he did have her and he was about to take her out, oh, Cyril came along and I don't think Cyril even knew that he was pointed at Dedrick. Cyril just saw him and crashed out or whatever. So
yeah, and because
yeah.
speaking about Luthen, like Luthen gave that mission to
Hmm.
to Wilman, and Wilman in return went to Yavin 4 to say, look, yo,
Hmm.
got some intel, and we can get our look back. And Andor
Hmm.
was like, we already got Dr. Gorsh last year. We might as well get Dedra too.
Man, hey, so they the get it back in blood crew, yo, for real.
For
That's what they
real,
all
yo.
about, for
You know what I'm
real.
saying?
You
For
know.
Ferric, Stone, and Sky. Woo. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and you think about it, you like, yeah, that's right, and they're doing what I forget her name, but Andor's adoptive mother said, "F the Empire, fight,"
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
get and they get in a massive give back. Our man Luthen basically has put everything in motion, and he's letting, and I love too how Mon Mothma is like, look here. I am down with the cause. I want to, what I'm saying, do this or whatever. And Luthen is letting her know basically like, yeah, you're gonna have to end up being the face of this. At some point, at some point, you're gonna have to be the end up being the face of this. But Mon Mothma doesn't want to be, I guess, in Luthen's debt or under his thumb. You know what I mean? She don't
Yeah.
want to be
Yeah.
under his thumb. You even see that with her cousin who was working with Luthen, the one that was Cinna's girl, you know what I'm saying?
Val.
Because when Val, you see Val when she's on Yavin and yeah, and she's talking to Bix and she's like, look, we not trying to be bothered with Luke. And she was like, yeah, that's why I'm here too. When you hear with but little do they know what my man Luther say. I got friends everywhere. And Luthen is letting these people know, like, hey, don't be doing stuff so freely. The Empire is checking for y'all. They know, and like even Mom Mothma is like every time she goes back to her office, she's they checking for you know what
Listening
I'm saying,
devices.
listening devices and stuff like that, and they finding them, and then they gotta like destroy them, and the Empire's like, it just shut off. I don't know, maybe it malfunctioned or something. They thinking can't nobody find it, and my Mothma is just like, doing this, and she's talking to Luthen, and Luthen is telling her, "Look, you gonna give the speech. It's gonna be cool. I'm gonna get you out." And she's like, "Well, no, I got somebody that's gonna get me out." And he's like, "Can you trust them?" "Oh yeah, well I can." Blah 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 blah. And he was like, "Well, can he trust the people around him?" Type thing. And she's not trying to hear that. And she's basically like, "Look, I don't want nothing from you," type stuff. And he was like, "Girl, I got friends everywhere." He says so. I forget what he say to her to make her be like, "What? How you know that?" He was like, "I got friends and eyes everywhere." And then that's when she put two and two together and realized my assistant and she goes back and she's like so calm. It was like, you know what? She said, it's almost like I'm not upset, but I'm disappointed type thing speech with him and how long he basically, and he knew exactly what you're talking about. She was like, "Look, man, I never betrayed you. I would just pass along information that was pertinent for the information. He got friends everywhere." And then she was like, "You can leave." And he was like, "It's an honor serving you." And he still served her even to, what I'm saying, she went into her exile for this, man. So Luthen is about that action. He got Andor and they said, "Hey, this is what you're gonna do. She's priority number one. Get her out of there. We're gonna go this way and that way, you know what I'm saying?" And because remember, at first he was like, he won't gonna do it. He was
Yeah.
like, yeah, because he went back and he was like, "I'm not gonna do this or whatever." And he finally decided, and then he finally went to do what he had to do. And that whole scene with Mon Mothma, you know, the scene was set up beautifully because you saw how the time is. Think about it like when there is a session in Congress,
Right.
and you had the first lady who was like, "Hey, blah, 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 blah. I am yielding my time to Bail Organa of Alderaan." And then Bail Organa goes out there and he still has his time along with the lady before him time. He
Yeah.
gives a little mini speech and says, "I'm going to yield the rest of my combined time to Mon Mothma."
Yeah, and,
And
and then
that's where
give some
Mon
sort of
Mothma
like
go.
empirical statute that they made up as
That
justification.
they can't be.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And
which
that they can't, and like they can speak without being interrupted and all that
yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah.
which was cool
Uh-huh.
because this is how like it was using the empire's
Huh.
rules against them at a time. So yeah, that
Hmm.
was that was
And
real
Mon
cool.
Mothma. So here's my question, Rashad.
All right.
We know in Star Wars: A New Hope, Vader says that, Leia and, them on Alderaan, "You're a rebel spy." He's a- Take her away, stuff like that. How did Bail Organa, I just want to know, like, flip it when he got questioned about, you know what I'm saying? Did you know she was gonna make this? You know what I'm saying? That she gonna make this speech or anything, or was he trying? Did he stay neutral enough? I hope they show that because you know what I'm saying. Because you think about it, Empire wise, they're gonna be like this. "Oh, you used your time because you knew what the hell she was about to say. Lock his ass up too." You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's interesting. Either that or he just stayed around so she can get off world. So after he
Hmm.
realized she gets off world, if he well put like this, this is basically runs concurrently with Rebels. So right after that, they because remember Gold Team is the team that had trouble. Oh, I'm sorry, spoilers for Star Wars Rebels. So
Hmm. I
after they
forgot.
leave planet with Gold Team,
Hmm.
they end up getting the Empire finds them, and it ends up
Hmm.
being only like the pilot, um, her assistant, forgot his name, and
Hmm.
Mothma on a ship, and their ship is distressed. The Ghost crew finds them, and
Hmm.
then they relay the message. Well, she relays the message on their ship.
Hmm.
So everybody in the known galaxy hears this message, Hence, at the end of it, you get a cool shot of a bunch of ships coming out of hyperspace to
Mm-hmm.
join the rebellion. So,
Mm-hmm.
if that's the case, they were too busy trying to figure out where this broadcast was coming from and why
Yeah.
Mothma did not get murdered with the rest of Gold Squad, the rest of the remnants in Gold Squadron. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Out in space somewhere. So
Yeah.
that's my headcanon.
Yeah, you know what? That's true too. And if you think about it as well, when Andor, when he got Mon Mothma out of there and got back to got back to Yavin and everything with her, and he was like, "Where do I need to take?" They was like, "Don't worry about it. Go Squadron, do it." And that's when she broadcasted that, what I'm saying, that sick that the speech that we saw in Rebels over to the, what I'm saying, everything, because that's when, you saw my man was like, whoa, she just really called out the Empire. She
Yeah,
called out the Emperor and the Empire like that. Like, oh, well, I guess we about to get the ball rolling on this here, baby, or whatever.
because
And just
Ezra
think
was
about it. If
because
and
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was saying, because if Andor would have been been insistent of going with Gold Squadron, he might have could have been would
He
have
could
been
have
no
been
Rogue
dead.
One,
That's what I'm
no Rogue.
saying.
Could have been
Yeah,
dead, dead,
hence
dead.
how the Force was kind of ordering his steps in the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
Your
So,
steps.
um, also
I
like
want
when
to
in
walk
in,
worthy.
in Rebels, right? You remember the conversation
Uh-huh.
between Ezra and Mon Mothma. Mon Mothma says, "So you're Ezra. You're the one who sent that out. That because remember he did the same thing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Just on you know what I'm saying. But it wasn't nobody. Ezra wasn't nobody. Just a rebel.
Yeah.
So, but he did that message back when he was on his planet or whatever. What planet was he from? Um,
I don't know. Grass Wolf Planet. That's what I forgot the name.
oh my God, I should know this, right?
Lothal.
Yeah,
Lothal.
yeah, Lothal.
Lothal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He was on
Uh-huh.
Lothal. So, all right, getting back
Uh-huh.
to Andor, and
Hmm.
I like okay. Getting back to the theme, we believe the same thing, but we believe in a different way.
Hmm.
I was even okay, and I'm happy, and I'm still sad that this happened
What's that?
because I just knew that they were going to kill Bix, and that would be his turn to actually be in like full fledged in the Empire.
Yeah.
But the fact that she was able to leave on her own terms,
Hmm.
but sadly it was like, yo, after this is over, I'll find you. You ain't gonna find
Yeah.
him. You ain't gonna find nothing of him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you do,
He's been dead.
if you do, you're gonna see his skeleton kissing another woman. That's what you gonna see.
They didn't kiss. They just embraced. It was
You
it was a
sure?
it was a hug.
I thought they kissed.
He was like, I
Yeah.
mean, they had like
Hmm.
a little like flirtatious relationship, but like he didn't have time to hit that. All right, stay focused.
Okay.
So Biggs
Uh-huh.
gets to leave on her own accord, and I really like that because usually they'll just fridge a female
Yeah.
and without even giving
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
a second thought. So her get
Yeah.
him giving her giving him a digital Dear John letter was very funny.
Yeah. 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 I mean, and I mean, she basically was like, look here, I am your weakness. And I don't want to be the reason why you don't take part into something that is bigger than both of us. Or you know what I'm saying? Bigger than both of us. And she was like, yo, the rebellion needs you, and you do it. And I mean, my man was hurt, yo, for real. And I guess somebody could have told him it's better to have loved and lost than to never loved at all or whatever. But yeah, my man was really hurting, running through the forest and just take me away. You know what I'm saying? That song just played in my head where he just I got a pocket full of sunshine. You know what I
Oh
mean? And so
God.
man was running
That
through
is
that little
funny.
woods. He was running through that woods, and then he's standing on the landing pad. My man, he was like,
Hey
my
man,
man said, "Hey,
can
move! We
you
got
get, can you get
cargo."
the hell out the way? You're not supposed to
Man,
be
we
here.
said, is the transport, is that where the transport? He said, man, all the people that was getting transported are gone. And my man he was so sick, man, and I felt bad for Andor for that, man, because he really loved that woman, and that is now the third woman in his life that is gone from him. Of
I
course,
mean,
number
but
one was his
yeah,
sister.
yeah.
Are we ever gonna find out what the hell is the deal with?
Tony, I
Are
thought
we
about that
ever
today.
gonna
I'm a little upset that you mentioned it because I want to talk about it first. I was going to talk about it next
Okay.
episode. That's gonna be my big
Uh
question. If they didn't bring it back
yeah.
up, that was gonna be my big
Uh-huh.
question. You bastards, you
You know.
ruined it. Nah, but
I'm
seriously, no, you
sorry.
good.
Yeah.
Nah, that's sis
Sis,
Marva
his mother Marva, and now
Bix.
and now Bix, man.
Man,
So
that's very true.
my man
And
broken.
nah, you know what I'm saying? And the only friend he's gonna have is K2SO. He went right
Yeah.
from leaving her to having K2SO be his friend.
Hmm.
And man, like this next episode these next three episodes about to be crazy.
Yo, and these are the final three episodes of this, and I am salivating. I am Sinner's vampire drooling for what's about to happen to see how we are going. Yes, I went. Sinners comes back and everything this year. I kind of, I cannot wait to see exactly how are they going to tie this into it into Rogue One, because if we remember, Rogue One started off with him getting information from somebody on, I think, on one of them planets, and then remember he popped and killed the dude after he got the information. So I can't wait to see, what I'm saying, all of that. I'm pretty sure we're gonna probably see our boy Krennic, what I'm saying, our boy Krennic one more time. Hell, we might even see God, what's his name? The guy that designed the Death Star.
Galen Erso,
Yeah, we might even see a Urso,
that
what I'm
would
saying?
be
A Urso.
if they who played them? That was
The same guy that played
played Caecilius.
That's all I'm saying played Caecilius from
Is that one? Is that one? Oh my, hold on, y'all. I should know that
yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Nah, but
oh
like, oh yeah,
God.
why you look it up? The fact that you know what we almost got. I was reading
What's
this
that?
today. We almost got a horror centric episode of them trying to reprogram K2SO.
Yeah.
They say you almost got it, but it just costs too much. Like
Yeah.
they almost did that, which would have been.
Mads Mikkelsen.
I knew it was one of them people who had like it was like
Mads
four or
Mikkelsen.
five of them. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
yeah.
Mads
Shoot,
Mikkelsen,
if they
yeah.
could get Mads Mikkelsen to come for a cameo, like that'd be incredibly
Man,
dope.
man, they got Liam Neeson to come for Obi-Wan. I'm pretty sure they can get this
They
to happen.
did. They really did. Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen coming back and just showing some more background of Project Stardust
Project Stardust,
would be
yeah.
great. I need to see some more Saw. I need to see him on the breathing apparatus. I need to
And how
see.
he
Matter
lost
of
his
fact,
leg, how he lost his
I lost
legs.
his leg. Like, could we go back to Jeddah and see him building up his operations there? Could we see
Yeah.
the Church of the Force? Like, it's so many ways, and they probably would do none of the stuff we keep
Oh,
talking about. But
you know
yeah,
what's another one?
what's
They
that?
brought him up. Tarkin.
They is yo. If okay, so if they do Tarkin, they better just do like they did with Organa and just recast them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it really depends on
Hmm.
just how they want to play that. Also,
Yeah.
we can like it's I don't know, man. Like I'm very happy to be watching this and very happy to be talking
Yeah.
about this because it's it's just good, man. Like I wish more people was
Yeah.
on this. Like I really wish more people was watching this with us, man. It's been such a good time watching this. But yeah,
Um, Let me ask you,
okay.
would you say right now, uh, I should wait till next week to see how it ends, but I'm gonna go out there. I'm jumping out the window already. Would you say this is the best show you've seen so far this year?
Hmm. Pull up my
And
list.
I'm thinking, yeah.
Oh no, that's a good question. Cause
Because I was telling somebody at my because one show that was near at the end of last year, but we were going to add it to this year. One of my coworkers asked me about this show because I told her you need to see this. I said it's some of the best television out right now, and she said you're speaking very highly of this, Antonio. And she says this. Is it on the scale of Doom Prophecy? I said, oh, you bitch. That's not what I wanted to say to her. Like,
Yeah, I forgot we gotta add that to this year.
yeah,
Don't we don't put it on the list.
yeah, she said Doom Prophecy. I went, oh,
Um, hmm,
yeah,
man, that's. I mean, cause like right now, my top my top shows is Severance
okay,
and Paradise.
yeah,
Like, but I don't. That's it's gonna be a very difficult picking a favorite show of the year
it
already,
is,
and
it
it's not
is,
even July yet. Like, it's gonna
yeah.
be real hard trying to pin that down come like mid
Mhm.
December when we do the show.
Could we still in the middle of The Last of Us? You know what I'm saying?
I know.
We still in the middle of that. You know, one of these Marvel animated ones can come along and be, you know what I'm saying? And then of course, probably one of our favorite properties, Knights of the Seven Kingdom. We ain't even, you know what I'm saying? We ain't even, yeah, we ain't even got to that. That's
That
what
is this
October.
year, right?
Yeah, uh-huh. That's like October, November when that
There's
drops,
so much stuff
So
coming out this year, yo.
right, it is so much stuff that's coming out this year. And for me right now, it's in my as of right now, it's in my running of the three, which is Doom, Prophecy, Paradise, and Andor right now for me. I haven't had a chance to see Severance, but yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, it's
So
all
yeah.
good. I can't even say in your spare time because we packed.
Yeah.
Getting to that,
Yeah.
make sure that y'all guys join the site, theuponfurtherreview.com, where we can do a whole lot more stuff for the low price of $10 a month. You guys can have influence on what we watch and review. There also is going to be a couple of like ongoing shows there that I already know that I'm going to
Mhm.
do. And one show I've been thinking about is like 6, 7 months. It's going to be called Double A Anime. That is where
Mm.
me and Tonio and whoever, because I'm gonna get people to come on about this as well, and we talk about anime from a very black perspective. The AA
Mhm.
is for African
Mhm.
American guys, so
Mhm.
definitely gonna be doing that, and I can't wait for that because not only gonna be talking about recent stuff, we're gonna be going back and talking about some of our favorite ones, animes of days of yore, and just really getting into that because a lot of that stuff like on YouTube doesn't really track well because it's so used to us doing live action stuff. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm very excited for that. So be on the lookout for that coming probably next couple of months or so. But yeah, join the site. The content
Yeah.
is going to be there. But yeah,
Yeah.
Facebook can be nasty. Definitely join us on YouTube, IG, Threads if you want to have a conversation with us. We'll be talking.
Mhm.
And yeah, yo, that's it for this one. We will see you all on Monday.
Okay.
Last
Mhm.
of Us,
The Last of Us.
episode number 6. Is it 5 or
Something like
6?
that. I think it's
Either way, we're gonna be here talking
it's
about
one
it.
of those. We'll be there talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
man. Another great series as well. But now, that's all we got. Till next time.